Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the heart of Africa, there lived a skilled hunter named Adissa and his wife Zuri. Adissa was known throughout the village for his exceptional hunting abilities, and he provided well for his family. However, Zuri was never satisfied with what they had. She always wanted more, driven by greed and jealousy of their neighbors' possessions. One day, Adissa set out into the forest with his bow and arrows, determined to bring home a big catch. As he ventured deeper into the forest, he stumbled upon a magical talking antelope. The antelope pleaded for its life, saying, "Spare me, kind hunter, and I will grant you a wish." Adissa, being a kind-hearted man, decided to spare the antelope and asked for nothing in return. However, the antelope insisted, and finally, Adissa asked for a modest wish. "I wish for enough food to feed my family for a year." The antelope nodded and granted his wish. Adissa returned home to find his house filled with food, enough to last an entire year. He was overjoyed and told Zuri about the magical antelope. However, Zuri's eyes sparkled with greed, and she scolded Adissa, saying, "Why didn't you ask for more? We could have been the richest in the village." The next day, Zuri insisted on going into the forest herself to find the magical antelope. Reluctantly, Adissa showed her the way. When Zuri found the antelope, she demanded, "Grant me a wish. I want a house full of gold and jewels." The antelope, sensing Zuri's greed, warned her, "Be careful what you wish for greed can lead to downfall." Ignoring the warning, Zuri repeated her demand. The antelope sighed and granted her wish. Zuri rushed home, eagerly anticipating her newfound wealth. When she arrived, she found her house indeed filled with gold and jewels. Overwhelmed with joy, she started to gather as much as she could. However, the more she took, the heavier the load became. Greedily, she piled more and more gold and jewels into her arms until she could barely move. Suddenly, the ground beneath her started to shake, and the house began to crumble under the weight of the treasure. In her desperation to save the riches, Zuri forgot about her safety. The house collapsed, and she was trapped under the rubble. Adissa, hearing the commotion, rushed to help her. He managed to pull her out, but the treasure was lost forever. Zuri, realizing the consequences of her greed, wept and apologized to Adissa. She learned a hard lesson that day, understanding that contentment and gratitude were worth more than all the riches in the world. From that day on, Zuri changed her ways, and she and Adissa lived a humble and happy life, grateful for what they had. And so, the tale of Adissa and Zuri was told and retold in the village, reminding everyone of the dangers of greed and the importance of contentment.